Hi, I'm Nicole. I completed part two of our prep guide. So I'm going to just go through my slides with you. Okay, so like I said, I completed part two, and then we have three parts all together. So for my first question on my part was, what is the goal of a sensory processing framework? So first, I just want to tell you what sensory processing is, and then I'll get into the framework. So sensory processing is an individual's way of recognizing sensory events which occur in their everyday life and how they respond to them. There are sensory patterns that affect how individuals behave and respond in situations. So this could look like maybe your student rocking in their chair or fidgeting with a pencil. This could look like them chewing on maybe their shirt in different situations or covering their ears when they are in loud environments like an auditorium or the lunchroom. So then the next part would be the goal of a sensory processing framework. So the goal of using a sensory processing framework is not to change the sensory processing patterns, but to improve student participation in their education. So as we're looking at these different patterns, we're going to look at ways to help the students get through these sensory, different situations that maybe they're struggling with so that they can fully participate throughout their day in different environments in the building. Move my video. There we go. Okay. And then the last part on this page is by collecting data from observations, interviews, and assessments, you will be able to determine the ways in which sensory processing patterns may be supporting or interfering with the students' learning and their needs while they're at school. Okay. The next part, sorry. The next part says provide a brief overview and identify 3 to 5 different ways to support students whose sensory needs interfere with learning in the following areas. So, seeking patterns, registration patterns, sensitivity patterns, and avoidance patterns. So, starting with seeking patterns over here on the left hand side, a seeking pattern. This is children who seek sensory input, such as making noises, playing with fidgets, touching things, chewing on things, hanging on to others. And these children may be creative and innovative. So, different ways to support them are to provide sensory breaks throughout the day, provide background music during work time, provide flexible seating. Sorry, let me move this up. Such as like a standing desk, a wobble chair, or a beanbag chair, and then using bright colors to color code their work materials. Over here on the right-hand side, we have registration patterns. Children that participate in passive self-regulation, and they may not notice what is going on around them. These children may seem dull, uninterested, oblivious, withdrawn, difficult to engage them in different activities, or even self-absorbed. So ways to support them would be to provide textured writing paper so they can feel the lines that they're writing on. Add textures to workspaces, handles, the different seats that they may be using in class. Provide various fidgets, or you can have students carry books or other heavy materials. Okay, the next page we have sensitivity patterns. Children are easily distracted by new stimuli or disruptions to their routines. These children may be hyperactive, distracted, and they may show difficulty learning. Ways to support them would be provide weighted blankets, lap weights, ankle weights, other things like that, pencil weights. Remove overhead light and replace it with dimmed lights or lamps. You can also get, for classrooms, like blue light covers for your overhead lights. You can provide noise reduction headphones for loud spaces, such as the lunchroom or auditorium, like I mentioned earlier. And then also reduce visual distractions. So when they're in their work environment, maybe you could hang up a white sheet in front of them or on the sides of them, put up, I have dividers in my classroom that I use that I'm able to put on both sides of kids so that they can't see what's going on around them, so that they can really focus in on what they're working on. Next, we have avoidance patterns. These children actively self-regulate when they are in an undesired or an uncomfortable situation or environment. They may be resistant or unwilling to participate in new or unknown activities. Some ways to support these children would be to provide quiet places for the student to take breaks. And this could be in the classroom or even in a completely different room. Provide work and play areas away from other students. Use visual cues rather than physical prompts. And then identify daily classroom routines. Okay, and then this is the last part of my prep guide. So these are the sensory systems and their functions. So the sensory systems I have here in yellow. The first one would be proprioceptive, which is location of body parts in relation to each other based on information from muscles and joints. The next one would be vestibular, which are hand-eye coordination, balance, gravity, and posture. The next sensory system is tactile and touch, which is texture, temperature, touch, pain, and pressure. The next sensory system would be visual and sight. This is color, depth, spatial orientation, and brightness. Moving down to the next sensory system, we have olfactory or smell. These are odors in the environment, and this also contributes to taste. Next, we have auditory and sound. These are sounds in the environment. And then last, we have gustatory or taste, and these contribute to, or this is your body detecting bitter, sweet, salty, and sour tastes. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much.